Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos, guys. Thanks a lot for your love, affection and support. Thanks a lot. Today in this video, let's try to understand planet Saturn retrograde in Vedic astrology. What will happen when planet Saturn is getting retrograde in your horoscope, and what are the kind of results that are associated with Saturn retrogradation? Today I'm going to explain you everything in detail in this video. First of all, you have to have basic understandings regarding the word retrograde. In Jyotish Shastra or in Vedic astrology, retrograde means whenever any planet that is moving in the backward direction. It is holding some kind of a high level of potential energy. Or you can also associate this thing with the past life deeds or the past life karmas that you have to fulfill in this present birth. That is why any planet, especially planet Saturn, that is getting retrograde. Retrograde means something that is undone in your previous birth, and in this present birth you have to fulfill that things, and that is the only reason that planet is getting retrograde in your horoscope. Now let's try to understand what are the karmas that are associated with planet Saturn retrograde. See, whenever planet Saturn is getting retrograde, all the things which are signified by planet Saturn, whether it is some kind of restrictions, mental boundaries, fears, unnecessary worries, hard work, everything which is governed under planet Saturn, that thing is going to get more intensified in your life. You are going to feel more and more Saturnian energy inside you. Especially look at the placement out of the 12 houses in Vedic astrology. In whichever house this Saturn is positioned in your horoscope, and that is retrograde over there, that house is majorly associated with the pending karmas. You can easily see and predict the pending karmas by checking the Saturn placement in your horoscope, and especially with its aspect. Its third aspect, seventh aspect and its 10th aspects. That are highly important in order to determine what actually Saturn is trying to do in your life. Apart from this, retrograde Saturn acts as a rubber band. You know, like a rubber, it is a piece of rubber. If you stretch it, it is getting holding some kind of energy inside that rubber, and if you leave that, it is going to hit you back, and you can experience some kind of a pain after hitting that thing back. Similarly, with Saturn placement in anywhere out of the 12 houses, anywhere in the chart, you are going to fall back on the previous things. Suppose you have make one decision, okay, from now onwards I will move from this career environment to that career environment, or maybe shifting of a homeland, shifting of a place, I want to shift from this place to that place, or anything new, any decision which you have make in your life, you are going to fall back on the previous decision. Like, my previous decisions are good, like I'm making this decision but I'm not satisfied with that decision, or maybe I have made this decision wrong in my life. The person is getting to fall back on the previous places. You are working in some kind of a job like of an environment or in any organization. If you leave that organization and if your Saturn is retrograde, you are again going to fall back on that previous organization. Like, this is the best part for me, and because Saturn here prevent you to move forward. Whenever you are trying to move forward, Saturn put some kind of a fear, unnecessary worries inside your mental mind. And that is why the non-satisfaction part comes with the Saturn retrogression. Apart from this, in whichever house this Saturn is positioned in your horoscope, out of the 12 houses, that house acts as a major roller coaster ride. You know, just like the roller coaster, one time you are going up, then down, then again up, then down. So that is the major role which is connected with Saturn retrogression. Because here one phase it is going to be very tough. After that you are going to fall back. It means some kind of excitement is coming in your life. Again you have to move up, again you have to move down. So it is not a constant path. Like Saturn, it is usually responsible for the progressive path. You are going to slowly move from one thing to that success in your life with very slow. Like after maybe 10 years, 15 years and 20 years of consistent self-effort, you are going to achieve that thing. But if this planet is getting retrograde, it means your life is not very certain. It is totally uncertain. 1 minute you are experiencing this wave, again, still, again, and in that way, your whole life pattern is going to revolve around. Especially if it's, I will give you one example. If it is posited in the second house of your wealth and savings, so at some point you are going to gain a lot of money, again fall back, again gain a lot of money, again fall back. And that is the situation that is continuously happening with this Saturn. In the career environment, it is posited, suppose in your 10th house of the career. It acts as a major roller coaster ride. Your career is going to take you to some highest level, or you are going to achieve success in your career. Again, you have to fall back. Again, you have to lift up, fall back, and this kind of a thing. And that is why a lot of individuals, they are feeling totally lost whenever the Saturn is retrograde, because they have no understandings why this thing is happening with me. Or also like this Saturn retrograde, if it is posited in the sign of a Scorpio, some kind of a major curse that is present in your birth chart. I will talk about curses in some separate video, but let me give you a small hint. Curses are seen from the sign of Scorpio and especially Aquarius. And if this Saturn is posited in these two signs, and if it is getting retrograde, some kind of a curse is present in your birth chart. And that curse might be related to the Saturn placement in whichever house it is posited. If it is posited in the fifth house, it is your Purva Punya Bhava, or it is the house of your forefathers as well. So some kind of a curse of forefathers that are present in your life. And you can only able to lift yourself from that curse by doing or performing certain kind of a rituals that are associated with planet Saturn. Saturn is responsible for construction of land as well, construction of a building, because Saturn like to build something from the very beginning or from the scratch. Like Saturn like to build something. It acts as some kind of a pillar, that stability pillar. Suppose you are constructing your home, so then you are going to keep that foundation very, very strong, so that the building is going to get very strong. So that foundation level, that is governed by planet Saturn. And whenever it is getting retrograde, the foundational value of the planet Saturn, that is very unstable. No matter how hard you try in your life, you're always going to feel some kind of a wave of uncertainty in whichever house it is posited. Apart from this, as I told you, aspects plays a vital role in determining the retrograde Saturn. Especially with its third aspect, look at the house the Saturn is aspecting that house. The things related to that house, it is always going to get delayed in your life. But it is a surety that you are going to receive the things from that house of your life. But it is a sure indicator that things are totally delayed in your life. Suppose Saturn is posited in your fifth house and it is retrograde over there. And it is aspecting your seventh house of your marriage as well. So with the third aspect, your marriage, it is going to get more and more delayed. It is beyond your normal expectations or beyond your normal limits. Similar case with the seventh aspect. Look at in whichever house the seventh aspect of Saturn is going. Look at that house. That house acts as a major fallback position in your life. Suppose you have visited some temple some 10 years ago. And if Saturn is aspecting that house, that with its seventh aspect, it means you are going to move back to that similar temple after a certain duration of time. Especially after Saturn return around 27 and 28 years old, you are going to feel these kind of things. Because the seventh aspect of the Saturn, it is going to give you results according to your past life deeds. The things which you have committed in your past life, especially in this present day and age. If you are 30 years old, look back into your 30 years complete journey. What are the kind of individuals you are associated with? You are also going to meet that similar person once again in your life. Suppose Saturn is retrograde and it is aspecting your seventh house with its seventh aspect. It means at some point in your life, you are going to attract the similar life partner again and again in your life. Suppose you are in on a one-on-one relationship with some person and Saturn is aspecting your seventh house and you leave that person. But after a certain duration of time, and it may take a very huge time as well, maybe after 5 years or 10 years, you are going to meet that same person in your life. That is the karma which is associated with the seventh aspect of the Saturn retrograde. Because Saturn retrograde energy, as I told you, it is trying to holding you back to the similar level or to similar position. Like my previous life is good, but I will not accept any further new changes in my life. And that is why they are very fearful of adaptability is not present inside this Saturn. Saturn always want to fall back on the similar position again and again. And that is why, like, if they connect with some individual, or if they are having, they will go on a one-on-one relationship with some individual, it is going to be a very hardcore relation. Like, they totally in tune their whole energies. They align their whole energies according to them. And that is why it acts as a major sufferings. Because at some point in your life, retrograde Saturn, it is going to give you a lot of detachments. Like, no, this is not the suitable path for you. You have to move towards the certain different path. And that is why whenever new change that is coming in your life, your Saturn is not accepting that thing easily. And that is why it acts as a major sufferings in your life. Because Saturn retrograde is very strong. If I talk about direct Saturn or normal Saturn, that is not that much powerful. But the retrograde Saturn, it is holding very high level of karmas. And you can only fulfill that karmas by committing the similar kind of mistakes again and again in your life. Only in that way, Saturn is going to uplift you. And never ever be fearful of any kind of changes that are coming in your life. Because here Saturn is having that kind of a potential energy. So Saturn is not accepting any kind of new changes. So that is the main reason behind the sufferings that are connected with retrograde Saturn. Whether it is exalted, I'm telling you this thing once again. Suppose Saturn is exalted and it is retrograde. In whichever house it is posited in your chart, that house it is going to be act as a major roller coaster ride. You will never ever be satisfied related to that house, in whichever house Saturn retrograde. Apart from this, look at the 10th aspect of the planet Saturn. In whichever house Saturn is aspecting with the 10th aspect, that house act as some kind of a level of satisfaction in your life. You will always strive towards achieving that kind of things that are associated with its 10th aspect. Suppose Saturn is posited in your ascendant. In the Libra ascendant, Saturn is exalted over there. And from its 10th aspect, Saturn is aspecting the 10th house of your career. It means that kind of a stability, that kind of a passion lies in its 10th aspect. And if you go towards the 10th house of your career environment, or if you are going to give major portion of your time towards that career environment, you are going to feel lot of satisfaction and joy in your life. Because 10th aspect of the Saturn, it is going to be some kind of a time consuming aspect. You cannot reap out the results easily, but you love to work hard. It is that kind of a challenges or struggles that is seen from the 10th aspect. You can like that kind of a challenges. If you are suffering, you like that kind of a sufferings. If you are working hard for 18 hours a day, you love to work 18 hours a day. So in that way, it acts as a both way. It acts as a blessings as well, and some kind of a difficulties are also lies in that. But after getting through that difficulties, you are going to enjoy a lot of fruitful results. So only the one remedy lies in its 10th aspect. Look at in whichever house Saturn is aspecting that look at the 10th aspect of the Saturn. That is going to be the major house in your life. And the pending karmas are also associated with that 10th house as well. Because Saturn and Rahu, they both rule the Mool Trikon sign of Aquarius. And from the sign of Aquarius, Rahu, it is also a co-ruler of the sign of Aquarius. You also have to look after the placement of planet Rahu in your horoscope in able to determine the complete picture. Because I have made one video on what are retrograde planets. In that video, I have already explained this thing. Saturn retrograde, or if any planet is getting retrograde, it means you have to commit the same mistake again and again in your life. And in only that way, you are going to fulfill the higher karmas that are associated with this planet Saturn. So that's it guys from my side in this video. I hope you like the analysis of the Saturn retrograde. If you have any queries regarding your Saturn placement, regarding any other retrograde planet, if you want to ask me any questions regarding your birth chart, timings of your marriage, timings of job, timings of foreign settlement, timings of childbirth, anything if you want to ask me, do let me know guys. I'm always present there to help you back. Till then, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it below. And make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well, where I post a lot of stuff related to Vedic astrology. Till then, take care of yourself. I will meet you very, very soon in the next video. Bye-bye.